So then right after the military, acting was calling you.
No, actually, I came back. I started computer science, and then it completely changed into a business degree. I was in my 4th year at San Diego State when I said, hell with it. I'm going to Hollywood.
What?
Because I took an acting elective class, and I just fell in love.
Oh, man.
Hi, I'm Daniel Mora on When Zay Zay Met, and today, you had the opportunity to meet me.
¿Qué pasa, cómo está mi gente? I am Zay Zay, and welcome to When Zay Zay Met. Today we're meeting with a wonderful actor who you may know from a slew of projects on like every single screen. He's been honing his craft for years, and it's oh so good to see a master at work. His new show is called Casa Grande, and today he's here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love. This is Daniel Edward Mora. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, mister?
How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm ghosting again.
Oh.
It does it when it wants.
How you doing today?
Good, man. Good. Busy.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. You must be in high demand.
Sometimes, but whenever it does happen, it's all at once.
When it rains and pours.
Yeah. That's what it is. You kind of like bring this energy to the world, and the world just is attracted to you somehow.
That's it. And like my grandmother always used to tell me, you know, peor que no haya, right? So don't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, our grandmas provided a lot of those, didn't they?
Indeed, they did. Indeed.
Mine was one of those too. She always had her little thingies.
Just a little something. Never go outside. Never go out in the rain without your shoes. Okay. Thanks, Grandma.
Or without any clothes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Sure.
There was more to those stories. They just never told us. There was more.
Yeah, right. What is the origin of that? Jeez.
Right. Exactly. Oh,
actually, my grandma told me the origin of one of her stories. She would say, como bailar en un cuadrito. Which means you're like, you're showing off, because when she was a teenager back in the turn of the century, the men on horseback, to impress the women, would rear up their horse and make the horse dance within a square of the sidewalk.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that she grew up in Sinaloa.
Oh,
so,
my gosh.
That's how men impress women there. So I use that.
Bailar en un cuadrito. I like it. Oh man, I'm gonna say that from now on, for sure. Okay, let's take it back. You were born in Los Angeles, right? And then you were raised in San Diego, was it?
Yeah, I did the reverse migration.
Went the other way.
I was born here, went to San Diego when I was like 4, and then when I was like 8 or 9, went to Tijuana, and I grew up there for about 5 or 6 years. And my family still lives there. And when I came back from the Army, I lived there for a while again. So, back and forth. The border doesn't exist to me.
It doesn't exist.
And I had a motorcycle, so I didn't even have to wait in line. So it didn't exist metaphorically, physically, etc.
There it is. Well, man, it's almost nomadic for you, right? Like your whole kind of childhood going back and forth. What was that like for you? Like, I'm guessing it was very freeing.
It's very freeing, especially if you can function in both worlds. I can go to Mexico and people think, oh, I'm from TJ, and I can go anywhere in the U.S. and they say, oh, you're from California, ain't you?
Claro. Yeah.
But I can function in those worlds, as opposed to like a lot of Mexican Americans or Chicanos, let's say, they go down to Mexico and they call them pochos. I've never been called a pocho.
Pocho.
A pocho is somebody whose ancestry may be Mexican, but they're not really Mexican. It's a kind of it's a little bit of a downer.
It is. Oh, yeah,
a little bit.
Okay, man, but you've never been called that. So, like, you flow freely between the two sort of cultures, and it's fine. It's fine. Did you graduate high school in the States, or did you graduate?
Yeah, in Chula Vista, Montgomery High School.
In Chula Vista. And you went straight to the military right after that, right?
Yeah, I signed up while I was still in high school. I went in delayed entry.
What motivated that?
To be a Green Beret.
What motivated that, like right out of high school?
um, because I felt it was my duty
Yeah. Okay.
as a man, as an American, as a whatever, you know. And my uncles were both military, Korea and Vietnam, and that's one of those things that I always wanted to be: a soldier, a cop, or a fireman.
Mm.
So I hit two of those, and kind of the third one a little bit. So I'm good.
Okay.
Now I'm
Yeah.
an actor.
And
Now
now
I can
you're-
play those guys.
That's amazing. So where do you feel that you got your inspiration from that? Was it like just familial? Could it have been like stuff you saw on television? Like for instance, my father-in-law, he also military, retired colonel. Definitely got a lot of inspiration, familial inspiration to become military. But from the moment he first turned on the television, the first thing he saw, he told me, was he saw cowboys. So his entire life, even though through the military and all that, a full career, he always wanted to be a cowboy. So the moment he retired, he bought a ranch in Texas and became a cowboy, right? Fulfilled his dream. So I say that to say, your dream of being in the military and serving your country, was that purely familial, or were there other?
No, like I said, it's, you know, I just felt it was something I had to do, and I was at that age. I needed to prove myself. I wanted to be a Green Beret because I grew up with all those pictures, all those movies. But mostly it was my uncle. He would come back, my Uncle Abe, he would come back from Nam like 2 or 3 times. And every time he came back, my mother's side of the family made this humongous party that went on for days sometimes. And, you know, we'd kill a pig because my grandpa had pigs. And I was 6 years old, but, you know, I would hold on to the ear. And real men would pull the animal down. And we'd have carnitas and a big old caso, and just the whole family would come over. And it was fantastic. And my uncle was, he had one of those personalities, you know, he's bigger than life. He went through Nam so many times, bunch of Purple Hearts, bunch of medals, but he always had this bump in his forehead because he got hit with a grenade and part of it lodged in there, and they couldn't take it out without damaging the rest of his brain. So they just left it in there, and I always remember his bump. But it was who he was that really got me excited about the military. And then in high school, my friend Kent told me about Ranger School, and I got all into it. And I thought, well, I want to go, you know, I want to go Special Forces. I want to go all the way.
Right.
But I was only 17, so they didn't let me. So I went airborne.
You went airborne, jumping out of planes. Oh my gosh.
82nd Airborne. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fun after the first one. Once you realize, okay, I didn't die, I'll be fine. And I almost died on my first jump. I came within like half a second of becoming Hamburger.
What?
Yeah, but you know, training is everything. I remembered my training because I had twisted risers, and they came undone right before I hit the ground because I was coming down like a rock.
Oh my gosh.
But it slowed me down enough to where I didn't die, and I didn't break anything. So I figured, okay, well, if that's the worst, of course, the worst would be dying. But
sure.
And it's funny, I didn't think about, I wasn't scared at all because I just remember my training. It just kicks in. Or as I tell my daughter sometimes, you know, a lot of people died for you to know that.
Wow.
And it's true. It's true. Every label you see is a lawsuit. Every change where you say, oh my God, where'd that come from? Somebody died or somebody sued for it.
Right. Rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Somebody needed to be told, you got to do it again, man. Do it again.
Yeah,
do it twice.
Yeah,
It's crazy. So then right after the military, acting was calling you.
No, actually, I came back. I started computer science. You know, I learned basic Pascal, octal, binary, all that. And then it morphed. It didn't morph. It completely changed into a business degree. I was in a business degree. I was in my 4th year at San Diego State when I said, hell with it. I'm going to Hollywood.
What?
Because I took an acting elective class and I just fell in love.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was doing because I've always been very good at numbers.
Yeah.
But my heart wasn't in it. And once I took the acting class, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, as they say. But I never graduated from college. I've got over 120 credits.
Amazing. You know, there's something to be said about finding your passion, and
Oh, it's everything.
that it's never too late to find your passion. You can have a full career,
Yep.
finish it, start working on your next career, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, look at this.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to you.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm taking welding because
También.
I always wanted to learn to weld. You know, I'm not going to switch careers or anything, but I always wanted to learn to weld. So I'm welding MIG, TIG, stick, all that stuff, oxyacetylene, everything.
And then, you know, within a couple of years, you probably own the biggest welding company in America. And then, you know, you got that too, right? You never know.
You know what? I just love to learn. Like
Yeah.
I've studied 5 languages: Arabic, French, German, obviously English and Spanish. I just love to learn.
I think that's also, I wouldn't say a requisite, but I mean, because that word popped in my head, but I think that's kind of inherent of very creative people, right? Always looking for a way to have an outlet, you know, another way to have a creative outlet. Because you think about
Yeah.
welding, I mean, you can then take that and then start creating sculptures with your welding.
Yeah, I already sent a heart shape to my wife.
Ah,
Which
yeah, that's
was-
so cute. For Valentine's,
Okay.
right? Look at that.
yeah.
See?
Yeah, and as an actor, it kicks in because there are highs and lows in this business, and the only reason I've been able to do it for over 30 years is because I always had a side gig that sustained my acting career in terms of the toughness of it, because you've got to be able to leave a job, you've got to be able to audition at any time. So I became a commodities broker, life insurance salesman. I was a bartender. You know, I was a waiter. You do whatever it takes to serve your acting.
Absolutely. You know, it's always important to tell our stories, you know, as Latinos here in the US. I mean, especially since nobody
Yeah.
else is really going to tell those stories. And you've been
Or they'll
always,
tell it from their perspective, which is worse.
there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
You've always been so good. I've been watching you for a long time. You've always been so good at bringing authenticity to your characters as well, right? Not playing them over the top, always kind of, you know, bringing realism to the character.
Yeah, I generally try to be as real and natural as I can. Unless, you know, you're doing a theatrical piece, and on stage it's a little different. You can
Sure.
actually, you have to, because sometimes you got to hit that back row,
Right.
and you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, generally what I do is just kind of filter them through my own life, because we're all different characters. You know, we're all the father, the brother, the neighbor, the welder, the whatever. So, and we think of that in those terms. You know, nobody can say that they don't speak to their wife in a different way that they do with their buddy or their boss or whatever. So you filter them through who you are, the different facets of who you are. And sometimes that really can become toxic, especially for me, because I play a lot of bad guys. So, you know, I play a lot of narcos, and when I have to torture or kill a guy who's in the business, well, you know, this is the nature of the beast, buddy. You know, what are you gonna do? I don't
Right.
sweat that one. But when I have to play the child molester, the rapist, the sexual harasser, you know, that, because I've got a wife and daughters and sisters, you know, and those kind of characters, those kind of people, they're so full of filth that it leaves residue.
Yeah.
Leaves a residue.
Right.
So those are tough. Those
Yeah.
are tough.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like it's so hard to get, as I was saying, them to tell our stories from our perspective,
Yeah.
and almost like force them to tell us different stories, right? We're more than just these 5 different characters, right? The nautical, the, you know,
Exactly.
and right now in Casa Grande, you're playing a dad, you know, that is so 180 from those other characters.
Yeah.
A person who truly cares about his family, who truly cares about his son, also bringing an immense amount of authenticity. You're probably the most likable character in this entire series, to be honest.
For once. For once. Although one time I did an article, I did a bad guy, and they said, you're the funniest part of it, and you're also the heart of it. Which was a trip when I heard that.
A trip.
But yeah, this character, Rafa, he's a good man, you know? He understands what it is and I draw from my own father, because he was a hardworking, honest man. Yeah. He had his faults, but he was a good man. And everybody always took that away after meeting him, that he was a good man. He was actually called Don Daniel. In the neighborhood, everyone knew him as Don Daniel. So that's how, a little bit what I model him as. Also myself, because I consider myself a good man. I've never cheated on my wife. I tell the truth as much as I can, if not to save the other person's feelings. I work hard, and it's who we all are, especially Latino immigrants. And I specify because, we are special in that we are the noblest, I believe. We're the hardest working. We take crap like nobody else. And it may not be in our DNA, but there is some legacy of that. We just push forward. And no matter what, be it in our native countries or in Puerto Rico, because that's not a country, it's its own identity.
Yeah.
People push through, and no matter what, and they die trying, but I'd rather be taken out on my shield, but go down fighting. And that's who we are as a people, like I said, regardless of the origin. Overall, obviously, that like everybody else, and we're entitled to them. We have our bad people. We have, liars and cheats and rapists and this, like any other culture or any other ethnicity. We're entitled to not be perfect.
Right.
But that's who we are. And Rafael Morales is that character, and his family. But he's also lived. He also knows.
Yeah.
So when his son comes in and he finds out that he's in love with the boss's daughter, ay, mijito.
What am I going to do?
Not going to end well. But yet, he also knows, because he's very much in love with his wife, as I am. Mm-hmm. Love, you can't tell love what to do.
Eso.
Cannot.
Eso. That's it.
You can try, but you will not be successful.
That is so true. Love will make you take up welding and make little hearts. Oh my God.
And we're not. Another problem I've seen a lot with Latino stories is all the Latinos are such good little people in a nice noble family, and they're so perfect and so humble. No, there's also scumbags, like I said, and we see that in the series too.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of liked is the fact that my character and the boss are given little moments where we understand each other just as men. It's like it has nothing to do with you being the rich guy or being my boss. We have moments where we're all men.
Yeah. Man. I will tell you this, I am having a moment right now where I am truly admiring the man that I am talking to.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you very much for saying that.
And I hope, que siempre haya, the way my grandmother would say.
Yeah,
right?
como tu abuelita decía, Tu abuelita era good wise.
Always wise. Man, Daniel, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, man. A pleasure being on your show, and a pleasure talking to you, too.
Como te dije, continue success.
I love that you love to laugh, dude.
I do, man.
love to laugh.
I love laughing. I love laughing.
Tell.
Man, we got to go have a beer sometime, man, and just laugh all day. It'll be great. Next time I come to LA.
Someday. You ever come to LA, look me up.
I definitely will, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you all so much for watching When Zay Zay Met. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified when we upload more conversations with celebrities and other interesting people. Now, if you'd like to see your favorite celebrity on the show, it's simple. Just tell us who that is by leaving us a comment down below. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Hasta la próxima. Lo quiero del corazón.